At the start of the season, I would have told you that this game would matter a ton, as it could be used in deciding the tight divisional race. And lo and behold, the divisional race is tight, but it's not really involving the Rams and Niners right now, and it's not really a good division altogether. So it still matters from the standpoint that if the Seahawks falter, and the 49ers or Rams both go on a run, both of the teams stand a chance to overtake Seattle. But with that said, it's going to have to start this Thursday. I don't want to sound like one of those Bengals truthers who are like, yes, the team is lifeless, but hey, there's still a 1% chance. I think the Niners and Rams both have more of a chance than the Bengals did at the time of them saying that. So, with that said, let's get into the matchups. The first one that's really big for me is for the Rams. They are the away team, so we're going to start with them. Los Angeles has elite run blocking. According to Pro Football Focus, they are fifth best and a point behind third. So that's why I include them as elite, because elite to me is generally one of the top three teams. But in this case, I'm extending it to five because they're so close to number three. So the Rams have an elite run blocking, and the 49ers have a bad run defense. That's a great mismatch. And I think that can be exploited a little more heavily due to the fact that Sean McVay is such a genius play designer that he's going to get the most out of his guys. And the guys are really talented, especially Kevin Dotson. He is so good. He's one of the, I would say, five best guards in the league, give or take a couple. So that's a big advantage for the Rams. Another advantage they have is that they have a very high end edge rusher in Jared Verse against a sort of middling pass protector offensive tackle in Colton McKivitz. That's pretty big. If you can have any sort of advantage at the edge rusher versus offensive tackle position against a not so mobile quarterback, that can be really drastically influencing the game. And in this case, that's exactly what we have. Verse is more than capable of wrecking a game. And McKivitz, he's not bad. He's just not really going to be somebody that shuts down an elite level edge rusher, which is what Verse is on the verge of becoming. Next, we have another defensive line advantage for the Rams with defensive interior Kobe Turner going against a pretty lacking to meh interior offensive line. That is, of course, opposite Dominic Pooney. Pooney is really good. I believe he's a rookie. He's fantastic already. One of the better guards in the NFL. But the left guard and center positions for the 49ers can be had, as Aaron Banks is just all right. And I'm drawing a blank on the center, but he's not particularly good as a pass protector. He's really good as a run blocker, but he's not good in pass protection. So that's another advantage for the Rams right there. Shifting now to the offense, we have a star wide receiver in Puka Nakua. I say star not lightly at all. He's a top 10 receiver in the league at a minimum, I would say. That's not even including what he does as a run blocker, which is great also. So you have the star wide receiver Puka Nakua against a quality cornerback in Renardo Green, but not at the same level that Nakua is. So that is something that can sway this game, is that Nakua is just at a pretty decently higher level than Green is. Green is very good, don't get me wrong. I would love him to be on my team. But Nakua is just playing at such a high level that very few wide receivers currently are. And that's going to be, I would say, a pretty sizable advantage, is that they're going to really need to double team Nakua to have any success against him, because they're not going to get it with a one-on-one matchup. Speaking of a one-on-one matchup, somebody that will be one-on-one a ton is Demarcus Robinson. And he's, I would say, mid. He's not good. He's not bad. But he's better than Charvarius Ward, who is lacking this season. It's a bit crazy to say that he's better than Ward, because Ward is traditionally very, very good, if not elite. But Ward is not having a very good year this season. He's also having a lot of issues off the field, which I think could be influencing his play, which you hate to see, especially because he is such a talented player and seems like a good guy as well. So it's a very unfortunate situation. Shifting to the 49ers, though, we have the biggest advantage of the game, in my opinion, being Brock Purdy over Matthew Stafford. Purdy being a tier 2 guy and Stafford being a tier 3. These are temporary numbers. Purdy could be a lower end tier 2 guy than he is. He's pretty high end currently. And Stafford could be a tier 2 guy for me as well, if not even a tier 1, because last year he was a tier 1 guy for me. But Stafford, with the injuries to the receivers and the offensive line, has not been great this year. He's just been all right. So he's a tier 3 guy for me. There's 7 tiers that I have that I base the performance of in 4 advanced analytics into one stat. So Stafford is a bit behind Purdy, which is, I think, the biggest advantage of this game because it's at the quarterback position. So any minute difference is going to be magnified. The next advantage for San Francisco is that though the Rams have a good run blocking offensive line, they have an awful pass protecting one. And the 49ers have a middling pressure defense. If they have Nick Bosa, I would say it's closer to good than it is bad. But if they have no Bosa, they are closer to bad than they are good. I don't think that's too complicated of a notion to get behind. So that's going to sway things a fair amount if Bosa plays. We don't know currently what his status is. I believe it's thought that he didn't practice this Monday, but that's not the end of the world. It matters more the closer you get to the game. Shifting to offense now for the 49ers, rather. The 49ers have a great run blocking, and the Rams have a middling run defense. So there's a big discrepancy in talent there, like there is for the Rams. The 49ers should be able to shift things in their favor. Speaking of things being in the favor of the 49ers, George Kittle, if you haven't heard of him, he's elite. And he's going against some mid Rams linebackers. So that is a scary proposition. It is such a confusing thing to wrap your head around that the Rams are in a division with George Kittle and, to a much, much lesser extent, Noah Fant But then you got Trey McBride as well, and they say, we don't need no stinking linebackers. So it's very interesting how things have played out. Shifting to the next advantage, but sticking with the receivers, is that the 49ers have on their hands another stud wide receiver in Jawan Jennings, who is much better than the poor Quentin Lake. Lake is not terrible, but he's not great. He's not good either, I should say. He's just kind of bad. He had a really good year last year, so it's kind of confusing to me that he's fallen off as much as he has. But Jennings is going to be able to take advantage of Lake in a pretty big way, I would say. Another receiver that can do that is the quality Debo Samuel. Not great, but quality against the lacking Kobe Durant. Combination of two of the best scorers of all time, Kobe Durant. You love to see it. He is not good either. He's rather lacking, and Debo is more than capable of taking advantage of that. As I mentioned before, with the pass rush, it's going to be swayed with Bosa's playing status, and Bosa is a great edge rusher, and he would be lined up against a meh Rob Havenstein, so that would be a rather big advantage for the 49ers as well if Bosa plays. The second to last advantage for the 49ers is that they have a good defensive interior with Malik Collins against a lousy center in Bo Limmer. So that's a pretty big advantage. Collins, when I say he's good, I mean he's good as a pass rusher. He's not good as a run defender. So don't get it twisted. He's not going to be able to take advantage of Limmer in all facets of the game. But Limmer is just not a good pass protector, and that is going to be on full display against Collins, who is a really solid pass rusher. As for the final advantage for the 49ers, this one's very quick, to the point. They have home field advantage. It doesn't matter that much, but it matters a little bit. So, with all of that said, you might be able to decipher where I'm leaning, but I'll spell it out for you if you can't decide. I think the 49ers are going to win. They have almost double the advantages that the Rams do. They have 9, the Rams have 5. I think this game is going to be closer than that might suggest, but I think overall, Purdy being a more consistent quarterback than Stafford this year, not having the highs and lows that Stafford has had, I think that's going to be huge in this game. If you get great Matthew Stafford, this can really be a game. If you get bad Matthew Stafford, this is going to get ugly. So I'm going to go with the 49ers here. Those are my thoughts, though. Be sure to let me know what yours are in the comment section. And also be sure to like and subscribe for more NFL content.